Alright, hello everybody, this is Zackster99, and I'm here making a video about an interesting situation with a new indie game that just came out a little over a week ago on Steam. Now, of course, I'm going to cover this story because this is a big story about a single-man developer who made a game called Bear Simulator, and even though it's getting about 80% of the reviews on Steam being positive reviews, people who seem to love the game, PewDiePie made a short 6-minute video 3 days after it launched on Steam and basically tore the game up and said, basically showed he didn't like it, and he even showed himself getting a refund on Steam for the game, and pretty mocks the game pretty good in this video. I'll definitely have a link where you guys can go watch PewDiePie mocking this game on his video. But what happened after PewDiePie put up this video, the developer for this game called it quits due to the drama. Yeah, that's right. Now, this developer, not only that, this developer back in 2014, nearly 4,000 people showed support for this developer by pledging more than $100,000 for, a silly Bear Simulator game. Now, obviously, this game was inspired by the success of Goat Simulator, and Goat Simulator making more than $10 million for a really buggy, stupid, silly game where you play a third-person perspective of a goat and run around and trash it, crash into stuff, and your tongue sticks out, and you fly through the air and all kinds of stuff. Well, from what I can see of Bear Simulator, it doesn't look quite that silly, but it does look like it has a few bugs and problems in the game. But overall, it looks like it plays pretty decent. That's just from watching the few videos that I've watched. Now, I saw this game when it released on Steam because what I do all the time is watch Steam for new releases that pop up out of nowhere, and I look for those gems, those games that come in out of all these games that nobody's really heard of. And while I review a lot of games that aren't so great, there are a few sparkling gems that come out on Steam that nobody's really heard of, and that's kind of what I do on my channel. I review a ton of these Steam games and kind of give you guys my opinion. I even score a lot of these games, or most of these games, and give you my exact score, including, what kind of a value it gives you, how much fun it is, the controls and bugs, and, how good I rate the graphics and sound for that game. So, I gotta be honest here. I watched PewDiePie's video, and while it was obvious he didn't really like the game and he showed himself refunding the game at the end of the 6-minute video, he really wasn't that bad. A lot of the comments on his video, people are calling PewDiePie out and saying he was kind of a prick and this, and that. Well, I guarantee you, they haven't seen anything because I've already torn many games up way more than PewDiePie tore into the developer or the game Bear Simulator. And he knows that when he tore into it, he knew that this developer had gotten more than $100,000 to make the game. I've torn into developers who've released a game that, I don't even know how much money they've raised, or maybe I know that they haven't raised any money before the game. And I still tear into them for trying to release a crappy product as far as what I believe, as far as what I see. I'll tear into the developers if I think they're just trying to make an easy dollar based on the success of other games or, other popular genres on Steam, like survival or zombies or whatever. Now, from what I've seen, when I saw this game, I decided that I didn't want to buy it. I decided that, this doesn't look like my kind of game. I'm not going to buy into this. I'm not going to review this. It's going to get plenty of attention on its own just because it's another simulator game like it is. And sure enough, in a week, it has over 157 reviews. It's probably sold at least 1,000 or 2,000 copies. I think the developer is doing pretty good, despite the one review from PewDiePie. Now, I gotta say this, people. From what I've seen of this video, though, if I had reviewed this game, if I had bought into it, and I tested it, which I could have done, I do that with a lot of these indie games, but if I had downloaded this game on its launch day and done my original, quote, first play on launch day, as I call it, review, like I do for a lot of these indie games, had I done that, and had I seen that the developer had pulled in more than $100,000 on KickStarter to make this game, you can bet your ass that I would have torn into this developer way harder than PewDiePie did. I probably would have tore into the game big time. And if you look down here, the developer's name is John Farge, I guess. Released the game, and he put out a statement after the game. He said, well, the game didn't have a great reception, has a stigma against its name. Even though 80% of the reviews are positive, it has a stigma against his name. Yeah, that's because of PewDiePie and PewDiePie's popularity. So it's kind of sad that one man's opinion can, overweigh even hundreds or thousands of other happy people just because he's that popular. Kind of unfair, don't you think? But anyway, that's the way this developer feels, and I can kind of understand that. But he says there's plenty of other problems, so making updates or going further is basically a lost cause now. Now, here's another thing where he might just kind of making an excuse and using the PewDiePie video as an excuse to back out. And that's kind of how I feel looking at this video, looking at what he said. He says, plus, I'm not skilled enough to make the game better than it currently is right now, or write better updates than previously. So that sounds like he's kind of given up, or he doesn't believe that he has what it takes to make the game better than it is right now. He also goes on to say, was really hoping the Steam release would go well, but why would it? Should have just gave the game to the developers and not even bothered with Steam. He says, I don't want to deal with the drama anymore, can't ignore it because that causes more drama, and can't do anything about it because it causes even more drama. Well, that's kind of what you do when you develop a game and put it on Steam and you have $100,000 worth of money from people who, put their trust in you to put out the game that you promised them or said that you would try to make. Well, you're bound to get some drama if your game doesn't meet expectations. But for the most part, it seems like most people are happy. It seems like this developer is really just kind of looking for a way to get out of it, to me. I got to be brutally honest here. Now, let's take a look here. Yeah, the video by PewDiePie has more than 2.5 million views in just about a week. So that's pretty crazy if you think about that. But what I wanted to look at here is there's a review taking a picture of here. This is a negative review. We can actually go look at this review on Steam ourselves. All right, guys, I went and looked for this guy's review on Bear Simulator, and I don't even see it anymore. So for whatever reason, the review either got taken down for abuse because the developer reported it, or the user decided to take down the review himself. But look at this screenshot here of this developer at the time when the screenshot was taken. 536 out of 614, 87% found the review helpful on Steam. The guy says, update number 2, the developer flagged my video as abusive right there. It has since been repealed, I'm guessing, by a Steam moderator. So likely, I've had this happen as well with some of my negative reviews on Steam, where the developer will flag my review as abusive because I give it a negative score, basically, or I'm pretty harsh on it. And more often than not, I don't think there's ever been a time when a review's been taken down from a Steam moderator. So the moderators for Steam will go in and look at my review and say, you know what, that's a valid review, and leave it up. I've never had my review come down because the developer has flagged my review, and that's happened several times. So Tickler goes on to say here that the developer has deleted my forum post. I made a post warning people about the game, and it was deleted without warning. It looks like this is happening with other posts too. It was a $50 Kickstarter. I was a $50 Kickstarter backer. The developer has not communicated anything. I got my alpha access just 3 weeks before release. That kind of sucks. This game has received no bug testing, and John Farge, the developer, will not listen or respond to any form of input. This game is poorly made and a buggy mess. Oh, he says the codes, the backers are not personalized and anyone can use them. The exciting area the developer promised the backers is a shed with a picture of a frog in it. The developer rarely posts to social media and rarely, if ever, responds to messages. It says here the game was supposed to come out over a year ago, but basically John went on he went without a year without a single word. And the game is a mess as it is, and I don't see it changing in the future. So, for whatever reason, this guy's review got removed from Steam. I'm guessing Tickler removed his review for some reason. I don't see any reason why a Steam moderator would, remove that review. I've left a lot worse reviews on Steam for games than that, and they haven't ever removed any of mine. So it sounds like this developer is kind of for receiving $100,000, this review doesn't put this developer in the best of lights. So it sounds like he doesn't want to listen to any kind of suggestion or input or feedback. He doesn't seem like he cares about, the people that do want the good game. Instead, he just cares about PewDiePie's reception. Sounds like I'm sure he cared about the money he got, the $100,000. Where did that go? So again, I am a small YouTuber. I know that, I'm not big time like PewDiePie, but my voice is sometimes heard, especially by these indie developers. They seem to care about what I think. I've had a lot of indie developers show their true light based on my negative review. Now, most of them will try to learn from my negative review and try to fix the things that I suggest. Because when I leave a trashy review, a lot of times I will leave a lot of suggestions on how a developer can fix their game or make it better, even if I'm, basically cutting the throat of a developer or a game in my review. And a lot of developers take my reviews to heart and actually try to use my negative reviews to make their game better, which is exactly what this developer should do with PewDiePie's review. The best way to make PewDiePie look like an ass, or if I cut or tear into a game, the best way for a developer to make me look like a jerk or a dickhead is to actually complete the game, fix the bugs, prove me wrong. The developer here needs to make PewDiePie look like an ass, make the game great, make the game exactly what all your backers wanted and expected when they gave you $50 or $100 or $500 to make this game back in 2014. So, I'm not feeling sorry for John Farge at all. The guy made out big time back in 2014 with $100,000. And you know what I think? I'm going to call this guy out here. I think he made way more money before he developed this dumb game than he is right now. And he's like, woohoo, I only sold 1,000 copies my first week. I'm not making near as much money as I did getting it kickstarted. I just want to quit. I'm going to use PewDiePie's review and video to bail and get out of here and not do a damn thing to fix my game. Perfect excuse. I'm calling you out, John Farge. You're using PewDiePie's video that didn't even trash your game that hard to bail on the backers, the 4,000 people who backed you up with their hard-earned money to make a game. A lot of people are tearing into PewDiePie for making the video he made. I guarantee you I would have been 10 times worse had I downloaded the game and reviewed the game. Would it have mattered as much to John Farge? No, because I'm not a big YouTuber. But again, I don't even think PewDiePie's review matters that much to John. I think he's looking for a cheap way out. He's looking for an excuse to bail on this piece of crap game that he made and that he made $100,000+ to make more than 2014. So even if he sold 1,000 copies his first week, that ain't nearly as much money as he made on the Kickstarter. The guy's looking to just bail. Maybe he's looking to come up with another dumb idea to try to make another $100,000 on Kickstarter and bail on that project too. It wouldn't surprise me. So I don't feel sorry for this developer at all. In fact, I'm backing PewDiePie on this one. I never would have expected that I would back PewDiePie, but I'm backing PewDiePie on this one. In fact, I think PewDiePie probably should have been a lot harder than he was on the game. I encourage PewDiePie to leave his video up. He already took it down once because, it made the developer feel bad and say he was going to quit and all the different, press coverage and stuff like that, negative press coverage he was getting about the video. I encourage PewDiePie to leave his video up. And in fact, I think he could have been a hell of a lot harder on the game than he was, especially knowing this guy got $100,000 to make this game. So, in my opinion, John Farge just looking for the easy way out. He's looking to take his money and run and leave the game a mess for the 4,000 backers who pledged over $100,000 for him to make it happen. That's a chance you take when you pledge money. I understand that. But again, the way I see it, this developer's just looking for an easy way out, and he's using PewDiePie's video as an excuse to bail. I want to know what you guys think, though. I think this is a pretty interesting story, so I'd love to know what you guys have to say about this. Please leave it down in the comments below, even if you completely disagree with me. I want to know what you guys have to say. Be sure you rate my video. This is Zaxter99. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you in the next video. Take care.